Good morning, Illini. I'm your host, Matt Schrock, here for Healthy Illini, and I'm glad you're with us, glad you're listening in and checking out what we have for you. Right now, we're continuing in a series of meeting the staff here at McKinley, so I'm excited to have you have a little bit of insight into what they do and who they are, but let's jump right into it. Today, I'm joined by our staff with the Radiology Department. We actually have 3 staff here, and they're all joining me today. First up, we have Marla Gooden. She is the Radiologic Technologist Manager. Marla, thanks for being here.
Hi, good morning.
Next, we have Corey Curtis. He is the Radiographic Technologist Specialist. Corey, thanks for being here.
Good morning, thank you.
And rounding out our trio is Austin Farthing. He is the Radiologic Technologist. Austin, I appreciate you coming in.
Thank you for having us.
All right, so like I said, this is another part of a series that we're doing with the roles we have at McKinley, kind of what roles we have in healthcare here in the building, and also to get to know some of our staff. So it's to talk about kind of what you do, but also who you are. But let's start off with kind of how you got here, how you got into radiology. Was this always a career path for you or something you were always interested in?
Well, for me, it was not something that I was always interested in. I started out taking business administration courses for 2 years, actually, and then just decided that wasn't really what I wanted to do. So I just looked into something completely different. And then I found radiology and it seemed extremely interesting. So I went with it and here I am.
Been with it ever since.
Been with it ever since, exactly.
Corey, what about you? You kind of have a little bit different aspect than what I expected, to be honest.
Yeah, I've actually had quite a different turnaround of events when it came to my career path. But nonetheless, after the military, I just wanted to do something that was really better than just helping myself, like for instance. And so, yeah, it's like I ended up looking back in my past. My mom, she always did x-rays. She always used to show us the equipment and stuff like that. And so it always just really intrigued me to how that really helps in the treatment process of each patient and stuff like that. And so then, yeah, long story short, right after the military, I started college out to get my associate's degree. And, well, here I am. I've been loving it ever since, really.
And Austin, how about you?
I was similar to Marla, where I didn't really know exactly what I wanted to do. I had taken some general courses at Parkland and just kind of got my toes into college and everything like that. I was looking through the course catalog and the programs that they offered, and I came upon the radiology program, and they had sort of an intro class that was just like you met 4 times and they kind of went over everything. You played with the equipment, kind of just touched into what X-ray is, basically. And I found it super interesting, and I've always been interested in looking at X-rays. And so I decided to go ahead and try to get started into that. And just like everybody else, it's where I've been since.
And all of you have experience outside of McKinley. It's not the only place you've been here, whether it be Christy or Carl. But what ended up drawing you to McKinley itself? Was it just kind of happened into it? There was an opening and you came, or was it something that you're like, oh, hey, this is somewhere I kind of think might fit what I need?
Well, I actually worked at, a lady that I worked with at Christie Clinic and Carl, same person. I worked with her at both places. So she had worked here too, and she told me about an opening. And I was just working basically part-time at Christie Clinic at that point, and I wanted to get full-time, get a full-time position somewhere. So I just checked into McKinley, and that's how I learned about it, was a coworker.
How about the other two?
Yeah, so for me, I started out at Carl. It seems like the rest of the call, the medical field of it is the same. And so it's like, it's very, very, very busy, regardless of the location that you're really at when you're working at Carl. So it's just a constant go, go, go. And then it's like I got wind that there was an opening here at McKinley, and it's like I kind of reached out just to see, what life is like at McKinley. I specifically spoke to Marla, as a matter of fact. And yeah, she pretty much told me it's quite a nice community that we have here at McKinley. Everybody's friendly. The pace is a much more friendly pace for, all people involved. And so that was my biggest key factors in coming here so that I can actually have a life outside of work.
For me, I actually was reached out by Corey, and he had said that there was another opening, and I did the same thing. I was at Carl. That's where I did my clinicals at, and so I just went there because I knew it. But same thing, I just didn't feel like that we had at Carl. It didn't feel like you had time with the patients, and I like to talk to people. I like to see what they're doing and what their interests are, and just kind of have a communication with them. And so Corey had reached out about the job posting, and it sounded interesting because it was a much different environment where you're really focused on working with the patients and just trying to make them have a good experience. And so that interests me a lot. And then I came out here, and I've been out here for about 3 years total now.
So you also been here 3. Corey, you've been here about 5, correct?
Yeah, this August will make 5, yeah.
And Marla?
17.
17.
You're 17.
So your experience is what I was trying to get at. You've each got different levels of experience in radiology, but you are experienced there. And the series that we're doing is kind of twofold. It's given an insight into who we have working here, but it's also an opportunity to kind of talk about what you do a little bit. And I mean, everybody's heard the term X-ray. If you've watched TV, you've heard the term X-ray. I mean, whether it's accurate or not, you've seen it. You've seen it happen. Like, we need to go to X-ray. And so everybody has a kind of a passing knowledge, but a lot of people don't know what it means to be in radiology, what that means. So if somebody's listening here and they may have heard about it, they may have just know a little bit. If you could give me a little mini sales pitch on somebody, why they might look at going into this career. We have a lot of our demographic is college age, people trying to figure out what they're going to do the rest of their lives. And so if you had some words of wisdom, like this is why radiology is important, this is why it's a good field to go into, just a real kind of mini sales pitch. I'm kind of throwing this at you, but what would you share?
I would share that radiology is a wonderful field to go into because there's so many different areas of radiology. You could work, like at McKinley, we do general X-ray. We don't do any specialty X-rays anymore. And so, it's a nice atmosphere because we get to meet the students. Most people who come in here are not super sick people, but you could work in the field of radiology dealing with, in a hospital and dealing with those types of people also, if you would like to do that. There's CT and MR and mammography. And when I worked at other places, I did mammography too. That was interesting. There's just so many different fields is basically what I'm saying. So that it's areas. So it's a great field to get into.
Yeah, just from a wider perspective in regards to just radiology as a whole, the nice thing is that it only requires an associate's degree. So it's like, as long as you can pump out all of your, your pre-courses and everything like that, once you actually get to the X-ray courses itself, literally starting that second semester into the program, you're already doing clinicals. You already have your positioning skills, you're getting your techniques sorted and everything like that. So that's a really nice thing, is that you can get a really quick start into X-ray and start getting into, actually a career path really early on.
Well, and that's a great point, because right now a lot of the talk is debt, student debt. Yep. And when you're talking an associate's degree and you get in the field quickly and you start making money back,
exactly,
that's a positive. That's huge for a lot of people. Yeah. So what else? What are some other things that?
I would say it's nice to know that you're kind of assisting in a big part of helping someone get better or figure out what's wrong with them, because in order to kind of confirm a diagnosis that a doctor or provider may have, or if they're looking for something and not quite sure what's going on, they'll send them down to X-ray. And so what we do is show them what's going on inside and kind of help them figure out from there. And it's nice to know that we are doing something to help get someone better and feeling better, or what have you, get them answers, things like that. And I like knowing that I'm doing something to assist in that.
Right.
Well, and I know that you can all speak to a little bit, Marla especially, that as technology advances, radiology has really gotten, it's changed. So in your experience, what are some things that you've noticed, or you've seen? I know one that's really big. You all talked about it. But what are some of the advances that you're seeing in radiology that have been kind of exciting for you?
Well, for me specifically, when I started here, we were using hard copy film. We had processors and chemicals and all of that. And so then we've gone from that all the way to digital imaging, which is wonderful and takes away all of that headache of all that. And I don't miss it. And I'm glad we're here. But and also with digital imaging, you can, I mean, the quality is
Insane.
so amazing of what you can see on those images. So it's very diagnostic.
Another nice thing about digital is it can be a lot more forgiving. Like with film, it had to be perfectly right. Like if it was too dark, that was it. You had to do it again. With digital, if it's too dark, you can up the brightness a little bit, or if it's too bright, you can bring it down a little bit, and it allows you to kind of save an image that with film you wouldn't have been able to. You would just have to do it again.
Yeah. And then from the patient's perspective, it's like the dosage rate of the radiation that's used to get each individual X-ray has gone down significantly.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's like that is a really good peace of mind, knowing from both sides of the parties that it's like even as a treatment individual,
Sure.
it's like I am giving you less radiation but getting better results.
Yeah.
And then as a patient, any day.
Well, yeah, it makes them feel so much better. They've been getting, a lot of radiation.
Exactly.
These digital images.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And there's just I just know that there's some things going, like 3D imaging that comes out of X-rays and things like that. There's a lot of these advances that are happening.
Oh yeah.
We see, and we've talked about it before, that it seems like technological advances in medicine in the last 3 years have been so much faster than like the last 30. I mean, it's like it's accelerating so much, and so your roles are huge in a lot of that because you do work with technology so frequently. Would you say that there's still demand for the field? I feel like there's a lot of job security for you all, because I'm constantly hearing about, hey, we need radiology techs and things like that. And so again, with the career, that's something that there's a lot of opportunity there.
Oh, big time. Yeah. And so it's like, medicine's not going anywhere. And, and so it's like especially when it comes to the treatment side of life, if there's risk of stroke or a heart attack, CT is literally within minutes of getting a result for you, and so it's like, that's just one slight example. And so just like you were saying with the quality that's been increasing, it's like, that's not just X-ray, look at ultrasound when it comes to, you can see those 3D images of the babies, while still in the womb, or it's like you can get literally 3D images of CTs of specifically arteries, where you can literally spin the image just to see if there's any blockage.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And so, radiology ain't going in.
No, it's a good thing. And again, that goes back to what you were saying, people starting out, students wanting, trying to figure out what they want to do. And like Corey said, you can actually start out in the field. If you went into the program and you finish the program in 2 years, say, you can start out. And then if you want to advance, there's so many advancements. So.
And locally, Parkland College, they actually have the CT program built into the general X-ray program. You do have to do, once you graduate, you do have to do clinicals on your own, but you have all the classes done. So if that's something you would want to do and go the CT route, you have half of it done already built into the actual X-ray program. And so that's a really easy step for people to take that want to do that. And so it's kind of nice because you get your degree in general radiology and then also can easily go and get your CT certification as well.
Just to tap in on, so I'm sure a lot of people, when it comes to radiology, are very unsure of the many fields that are out there, because it's like, it's kind of incredible, like how many different fields when it comes to radiology that there really is. Touching on base with Parkland College, so once you're literally within the last few weeks of this final semester, you're already comped out, you got everything done. It's like they will actually let you go to different modalities. So it's like you can like see and get a taste of what each specific one is really like. Now, granted, that's clinical specific. It's like what they offer, what's available, and if they're too busy or what have you. But needless to say, it's like that's a really easy way to determine
what you're interested in, what your interest might be.
And like we said, there's so much demand that people are wanting to help you figure it out because they want you to come.
Exactly.
we want you to see what you like, and we want you to come do it here.
Exactly.
So there's a lot of you get a lot of assistance in figuring out what you want to go.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
So that's you've talked about. You've done a great job selling the career.
Hey, we're trying.
I'm sitting here going, man, maybe I should go back to school. I want to change path here. But that's given the career side of things really well. But the other half of this Get to Know Us series that we're doing is to try and just give the human aspect to what we do, because we are in the healthcare field, we are in the medical field, and with everything, I've said it before, like you go to the store and you see the same cashier, that sliver of that person's life, that's not who they are in entirety. And so there's a whole nother side to all of you. Yeah. So I'd like you to take a minute just to share things of who you are outside of McKinley, outside of radiology, what kind of things you like to do, just, your hobbies. It's going to be real quick, a whole lot, just something just to kind of share a little bit of who you are outside and let people kind of get an idea of who, because we have a very interesting staff. I mean, there's a lot of interest here of a wide variety. I keep learning something like, I didn't know you were into this, or I didn't know you were into that. Yeah. And it's really interesting to me. So I want to share some of that. So I'm just going to kind of give you an open-ended question. What kind of things do you like to do outside of McKinley?
Yeah, well, I mean, I spend a lot of time with my family, friends outside. I like to be outside. That's why I prefer the warmer weather. So it's basically just that. But letting people know, letting students know, we are people. Yes, we do, outside of what we're doing here. But I just like to be outside and anything outside, family, friends, all that.
For me, I've really been interested in vinyl records lately. I've always loved music, and so it's been interesting to kind of get into this media of music that I really never got to experience, because growing up for me, I mean, we did have cassette tapes a little bit, but it was mainly CDs, and so I never got to experience that. And now records are booming. It's a really big business, and people are coming out with all these creative colors and pressings of the vinyl. And so it's fun to kind of look for an album that you love and find all the different colors and variations of it. And it's just kind of, it's kind of just kind of fun to collect it and build it. And then just like Marla, I like to spend a lot of time with friends and family and just kind of be around the people that I love and like to spend time with.
Yeah, and so I have really two big pathways that I do outside of work. One is I've got a big green thumb, so I've got a big old greenhouse. I am a maniac for my yard. But my other one is baking. Just about everybody in this room has had some variation of
yes.
baked goods.
And we're grateful for that. Let me tell you.
Cinnamon raisin bread.
Anywhere. But yeah, a lot of bread it has been in my life in recent years.
Yeah, that's something I knew immediately was going up with that. The other thing for Corey, I'm going to tell him, is hiking and cycling.
Oh, yes.
We do a walking challenge at McKinley, if you don't know, and he's a cheat code. Everybody hates radiology because they have a cheat code, and Corey, he walked. I asked one time what it was like to sell all your furniture and put treadmills in your house, because that's the only way. The only way you're getting that many steps a week.
Right. I don't know how he does it, but
that challenge
you're
is
right.
mine. That's all I'm saying.
And we all know it.
Taking it.
Right. But and like as you can tell, I mean, you all have. It's something that I really stress on this program, is that everybody's individual, but we have commonalities. And your commonalities, you're all in the same career field, but your individual interests and personalities, you can see on display, are very unique. And yet there's this common thread that is interwoven between you. And so we have a great radiology department. It's really I just, not just because you guys are on, I would say this anyway. I think that you all do a fantastic job of serving the students, of serving the staff, of being the liaison between the two. I think we are just blessed with an amazing radiology department. And it's something that I talk to parents a lot from new freshmen. I'm like, hey, we've got, and they're like, you have your own department. I'm like, yeah, and this is what we do. And time after time, parents are like, oh, wow, that's really nice. Because you send your kids somewhere and you think, if they need an x-ray, where are they going to go? How are they going to do that? What's the process? How are they, all these things. And if you're a student here at UIUC, it's super easy because you already paid for it with your tuition and fees. And we have a great department that'll take care of you.
Yeah,
exactly. I mean, I have to say, there's three x-ray techs at McKinley, and we all take pride in our work and also in getting the patient in and out, but not treating them like a number. They are important to us, but they don't want to hang around here too long. So we want to get them, in and out so they can get back to their classes or whatever it may be. But yeah, it's a great department to visit if they need to.
Well, I appreciate you all taking the time to talk to me today and just share a little bit about what you do and who you are. And I appreciate working with all of you, having you as part of the staff here. And I just want to say thank you again.
Thank you.
if you're a student here at UIUC, McKinley offers a whole lot of services here, things that you may or may not be aware of. And it's all covered by tuition and fees. And radiology is one of those. If you need an x-ray, you need to get checked out, you can come to McKinley and we can take care of you. But also if you're listening and you're just not sure what you want to do the next step after high school, what you want to do career-wise, radiology is something to look into. It's very quick to get into. It's got a whole lot of variety, a whole lot of options that you can chase down and see where you want to go. It can give you some bridge to get somewhere else. It's a really good place to start, and it's a vital thing and in demand in a time when we're talking about job needs and people trying to find careers and not being able to find places to go. You get into radiology, you're going to find a place where you can land. And so if you have questions about that, if you're uncertain about that, whether it be the services we offer, how to get into it, give us a call here at McKinley. Give us a call at Healthy Illini. We'll be happy to talk with you and kind of share what options are out there, because we want to help you find what you have next in your journey. But thank you for joining us today. You are on a personal journey, no matter where you are in it. You are important and you matter. Your health and wellness are important and matter, and we're here to keep you well to excel. So go have a great week, Illini. Let us know how you're doing, and we'll catch you next time on Healthy Illini.